Hi, my name is Katie Ault and I work at Digital Aerolus. I am a huge nerd. I always have been and I'm proud of it. You know, I'm a nerd and that's cool. I love exploring a lot of different interests in a lot of different areas of my life, whether that be studying, different hobbies, different TV shows and movies. Nothing is off limits. But one of the longest and most formative passions that I've had is for the performing arts. I got started doing ballet at a really young age, and eventually that expanded into tap and jazz and modern, and from there it expanded into theater, you know, wanting to perform on stage in a slightly different approach, getting more involved in acting. I did a lot of musical theater in middle school and high school, which was a perfect combination of the two. And then eventually, though I didn't, you know, pursue performing as a career, I was able to continue with it in college. I was in all kinds of performing arts clubs at my university. I was on the school's dance team for a year. And I don't know, I really love performing and being able to express a different side of myself on stage that maybe people don't get to see in a day-to-day life. Look at different emotions or different moments from another point of view. Let's take, you know, a scene that you're doing in Shakespeare. You've got to consider where your character is coming from. If you start the scene and your character has just had a fight with their brother, that's going to inform the attitude that you bring into that scene. Maybe you're still a little angry at the events that just happened, and so you're lashing out at the people in the scene even though they're not really what you're angry about. Okay, well, then let's take it a step even further. Why were you fighting with your brother in the first place? Maybe he did something really horrible to you. Well, why did he do something really horrible to you? You take it steps back and see how that informs what you're bringing in the current scene. How every single little step that's involved contributes to the larger picture. And even though the audience doesn't necessarily see all of this work you've put in behind the scenes, to think about where my character was born and how they were raised and how they might be similar or different to me and how they're thinking about what's happening in the moment. I think it brings a very rich element to that performance, and the audience can definitely tell when you've done that work. And even beyond working on the emotions or the thoughts of the character, to take it back to Shakespeare, he's really known for writing in a very particular style. So when there's something that it doesn't match with the rest of the scene in terms of language, well, why is it written like that? Maybe that means he's wanting me to make a certain choice as an actor. If it's written differently, then maybe I act it differently. Or if I choose to act it the same, that's also a choice. And then why am I making that choice? And what does that choice mean for the available choices in the future? It's all connected. Or to take it back to dance, you've got to start with your pliés and relevés before you can get into things like complicated turns and lifting your partner on stage and all of the stuff that people make look so easy. When you're putting together choreography, as I started to do as I got more experienced in dance, you think about that too. What am I trying to convey with this piece? If I do a certain step now, what makes sense as a step to follow it up? Or if I choose something that doesn't feel like it would make sense, maybe that's an interesting choice. Maybe it makes it something more interesting to look at. Maybe it makes it maybe it allows you to think about the piece as a whole from a new perspective. I'm lucky to have the privilege of time to be able to sit down and think about these kinds of things and to spend so much time pulling at every little string and teasing things apart as far as they'll go. But I love thinking about things like that.